Greetings, Commanders, and welcome back to the Deep Space Carrier series here in Elite Dangerous. I have recently discovered that the plugin that I was using for my recording software has a function that will allow me to make it so that the video will automatically pause if I stop talking, which basically will accomplish the function that my video editing has been doing by basically going in and just cutting out the parts where I'm not talking. So it's not a perfect solution. It will probably cause a little bit of cutoff of the beginning of when I start talking. I have it set up so that basically after the credits here that you see, it starts doing it. I don't want it to cut off the credits and my members to get cut off or anything like that. So I have to try to be interesting for the first minute. That's what we're going to try to do for these episodes. I need to try to be interesting for the first minute anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I just want to let you know that's what's happening. If the cuts have some kind of clipping in the front where the first part of what I'm saying is cut off, it's because I'm using this new feature now. And, you know, sometimes the microphone doesn't pick you up quite as fast as you would like it to. So that's what's going on with that. I'll do my best to try to adjust my vocals to make sure that I'm making a sound before I start talking so that the microphone picks me up, and then you don't have that happen to you. But anyways, if you're just joining us for this series, we are in the Deep Space Carrier series trying to head around the four corners of the galaxy. I forgot to bring up the star map so that you guys can see that. So give me just a second to bring that up. Here we go. We started out in the bubble, headed down to the southern meridian over here, and we are on our way to the west, trying to hit to like the Trap Shepherds and up here. Basically just trying to go as far west as we can and then up around the galaxy. That is the plan for right now. We already have our carrier set for its next jump, and we also have our ship destination heading out to 2 jumps from where the carrier is going to be. So let's go ahead and get off the carrier and start doing our exploration. We are going to be in the ASP Explorer today. I did go back, I don't know, last week sometime, and grabbed a few more ships just to have something else to fly as we're going through all of this stuff. And then over the weekend, I actually went back again to the bubble, 250 jumps both ways, to grab some more equipment so that we would have what we needed to make sure that all of our ships have everything that it needs to be able to not have to swap out parts all the time. I still don't have quite enough, but it's enough to make it manageable now. That's what we're going to be doing. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started on our journey. We have 17 jumps to go. We'll find out what kind of exobiology we can find along the way and any other cool, interesting things. And that's what we're going to be doing. As usual, we're going to go ahead and boost into the star to minimize the amount of time it's going to take us to get our fuel scooping operation complete. Unfortunately, because we're in a ship that is not SCO optimized, we can't do the cool... oh, I never did the discovery scanner. I got out of the habit of doing that. We're not in a ship that's capable of starting to charge the frameshift drive while we're in the process of fuel scooping, because the heat management on this ship is not nearly as nice as, say, the Mandalay's is. So we're just going to go ahead and move on to the next system. As always, my limit is going to be 20 bodies on the way out to where we're going because of reasons. We'll talk about that later. I talk about it in every episode that I do, so it's more or less just the fact that the chances of biology being in a system are pretty much fixed, and the number of bodies doesn't matter. So you have to have a limit somewhere. Okay, so I think my microphone is picking up just a little bit too much in the way of things, so I might have to make an adjustment to the level at which it starts to pick things up. And again, I forgot to do the discovery scanner, so we'll do the discovery scanner. We'll do a quick scan of the system here just to see what's there, but I need to take a second and adjust the threshold for my pause detector so that, yeah, I just need to make sure that it actually doesn't pick me up until I start talking and not just ambient noise grabs it. So we'll do that, and then hopefully that'll be enough to fix that, and we can start scanning. So yeah, I'm not sure what's getting picked up by my microphone right now. I think it might be the air conditioning. And so yeah, I might need to actually just really bump that up a lot to make it so that it just really doesn't pick me up until I'm clearly talking. I appreciate you guys dealing with the growing pains of trying to figure these kinds of things out. Got a nice little water world here that we're going to go ahead and go check out here in just a minute, if I can get the little frequency thing here to stop being a pain in the butt. Yeah, if I breathe, it's enough to cause the thing to if I breathe deeply, it's enough to cause the microphone to start catching me, and then it starts actually doing recording. So that's a little bit of a problem. I mean, it's not that big of a problem if I can just remember not to take a deep breath, and it actually makes it so that I have a reliable way. Oh wow, we may not be able to get to that. That may be too far out of the range of this particular ship. Yeah, it is. It's too far out of the range of this particular ship. The only problem with bringing these non-SCO optimized ships is going to be that even though we have the Super Cruise Overdrive, we do not have what we need for something that far out, which means that when we're on these ships, things that are really far away are just going to be out of reach, which honestly isn't that big of a deal. It just means that we're just going to miss out on some things, but a water world's not really worth the time it would take us to get over there anyway. Even in the Mandalay, I'd probably be like, yeah, that's a problem. I can't have little random noises causing it to trigger. I'm not sure how to deal with that. No. I have to figure out a way to deal with that, because that's going to be a problem. Being random things just kind of inserted in there like that. You guys are going to get really annoyed with just random little 1-second clips kind of just popping in there like that. Oh man, I am just really badly out of practice with the thing. It's because I didn't do any kind of discovery scanning on my way out there, so I'm out of the habit of actually holding the trigger down now. 3, 2, 1, engage. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn my volume down on my stuff here. I might not be able to hear my game anymore. Okay, boost into the star. We'll find out what's in this system. I'm starting to finally remember to actually hold the frickin' trigger down when I do this to get the discovery scan going. 14 bodies in this system, so we'll go ahead and hop down. I feel like if I can get the discipline down to make sure that I'm not making any kind of extraneous noises while we're supposed to be in a silent section, you know, jumping between stars or just, you know, in the middle of scanning and there's nothing really interesting for you guys to see while I'm doing this, then I think that this method will work. I just got to make sure I remove any extraneous noise sources that the microphone might pick up, so that way it doesn't give random little 1-second clips every time the microphone detects something. And then, you know, I can't really set it up in a way that makes it so that the microphone waits to activate, because then, you know, as soon as I start talking, you guys aren't going to hear the first, like, second or two of what I say. So that's just, you know, I gotta figure out, I gotta make sure that the microphone doesn't pick up my game, number one, because I don't wear headphones. I don't have headphones, and so even if I wanted to wear headphones, I don't have any, but I'd prefer to not have to have something on my head if I don't have to. I struggle with the VR as it is, so wearing headphones for an hour and a half just doesn't really appeal to me that much. I'd rather just have the game be a little bit too quiet for me, if that's the way that things have to be. Now, the only other thing that I'm going to run into is the fact that my little subscribe thing sometimes is going to show up when I'm not talking, and that's going to be kind of I gotta try to figure out a way to make sure that it only shows. I know that there's a way to do it. 21 bodies, we're not stopping for that. I know that there's a way to do that, and I already know I think how to do it. It just requires me to have the formula that, or the list of things that it has to do. It'll be a lot more complicated than it is right now, than having it repeat every X number of minutes. I gotta make sure it says only repeat. I think I have a timer, and I think I just need to make sure that the timer pauses every time that the video pauses. So I got to go back and look at the logic for that. I think I can get it to work. I just got to go back and look at it and make sure it works. I got to remember to pull the trigger down so I don't waste time doing that. So while we're fuel scooping, we're getting the discovery scan done, and then we're popping back down out of the fuel scoop, getting below the plane of the system, and then hopping into the full spectrum system scanner to start scanning bodies. And hopefully we find something super cool with biology. I think I saw something down. Yeah, I saw some highlighted stuff down here. I posted on the forum talking about how I would like the discovery scanner to be the primary discovery tool for everything, and that the full spectrum system scanner be the thing that just locates those things. The discovery scanner tells you it's there. You just use the... Ooh, is that a... Oh, it's a water well. You just use the full spectrum system scanner to locate where it is rather than the way it is now. Alright, so that's only 219 light seconds away. We'll go ahead and boost towards that and get a planetary scan done. And of course, you know, as always, there's going to be somebody who disagrees with the idea of making anything more streamlined because you're supposed to be playing the game. I just don't understand that. I don't understand that viewpoint. I don't understand why people are like actively wanting to waste their time doing tasks that don't really mean anything, that are just manual operation just because. Like, why are you defending that? I don't understand people defending the idea that things just should not be more streamlined or be as streamlined as they can be. They can find other ways to convince us to spend time in the game. I don't agree with the idea of making things overly annoying. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Why would you defend that? I don't get it. But the game's perfect the way it is. Leave it alone. Whatever, man. We need to get 6 probes out on this guy. Did we not slow down? No, we did. Okay. I was like, getting a little bit concerned. Getting a little bit concerned because it felt like we were just going real fast at the planet. 6 probes for this one. I don't remember if I have the expanded probe radius for this one. But even then, as long as you're doing the 6 probe pattern here, it should be enough to get it done. So we can hop out of that. Then we can hop into the system map and go find the other water world. It's this one here. Should be relatively close to where we are now. And yeah, 321 light seconds away. We need to do 32C and then turn it up. Oops, I knew I was going to do that. Anytime you're in a gravity well, the acceleration for that just takes a really long time. Yeah, it's so random. The microphone sometimes will just pick it up, and other times will just pick up random stuff, and other times it won't. I don't know what the thing is for it. I really need to figure out. I mean, I guess I just need like a gate. I need to put a gate on it. I have a noise removal filter, but I really need to just have a gate put on it. That's what it is. Okay, I think that's probably what's going to go on here. But no, I don't know. I mean, detection software itself basically has a gate on it. You set it to the threshold that you want the microphone, you want it to start picking things up at. I have it set at negative 30 or 20 dp now. I bumped it up a little bit to make sure. It's right there in the yellow zone. Because when I'm talking, it doesn't always stay in the red zone, and I don't want to risk it cutting out in the middle of me like saying something. So like everything else that I do, it's going to require some testing and fiddling to try to get it to work right. No, it is what it is. This last one here done. Next system en route, which is at the bottom of your targeting section of the keybinds menu. For those of you who are inevitably going to ask about that, we still have 11 jumps to go to get to where our carrier is going to be after its next jump. Oh, we need to start looking out for icy rings now because, unfortunately, we're already starting to run low. I don't say we're running low, but we're past the point where I would be comfortable having fuel. So we're going to start looking out for icy rings, I think. Yeah, it's just I don't think it's pausing anymore. Well, it kind of is. It's kind of pausing, but it's not pausing reliably when I need it to pause. So, I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm not, like, it's working now. It's working properly now, but every once in a while it'll pick up a noise from something else. Yeah, it just randomly picks things up. I don't know. Do I need a noise gate on this thing to make it work the way I need it to work? Okay, does it work now? Okay, I think we're going to try this for a little bit, see if the noise gate on the microphone will prevent any like random noises. The problem is that when I open up the tool from the advanced scene switcher, the microphone pause thing that I have, it does have a thing where the output volume of the microphone, it'll pause the video if the microphone falls below the threshold that I've set. And I don't know, it doesn't seem to be super reliable. And yeah, now it's not pausing the recording either. Like, I stopped talking and it's not pausing the recording anymore. Now, okay, so see there, that time it did pause. It's really unreliable, it seems like. I'm not sure what the deal is. I want it to be less than, let's do less than, if it falls below 20 dB, then I want you to pause the recording. Okay, and then if I start talking again, then I want you to, yeah, I have it set up so that if it falls, if the volume goes above, let's see, if the volume goes above 20 dB, I want you to, oh, I don't know, I don't think that was, oh, that might have been the problem. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. I'm not really sure if this is how this is going to work. So it seems like my breathing no longer actually triggers the microphone anymore. So if I can get this set up in a way where it reliably unpauses the recording when I start talking and pauses the recording when I stop talking, then we can get to a point where I can just not have to do video editing again, which would be really nice for me. Because I don't really have any interest in trying to figure out like crazy, you know, I don't know, I'm not creative. I'm honestly not creative enough to figure out the best way to edit a video to make it more interesting than me just playing the game. I just know that pulling out all the parts where I'm not talking or actively doing something interesting. Ooh, we'll go ahead and go scan that because four things on a rocky body is not going to be that interesting. It's going to be bacteria. Yeah, there's a bunch of biology here, but it's all going to be boring bacteria if I'm perfectly honest with you. We'll go check it out because, you know, kind of have to, but I don't know, I'm just not really interested in going to find various versions of grass, and that's more or less what we're going to find there, is just versions of grass. Ooh, gas giant with ammonia-based life. I wonder if those are icy rings. That would be kind of cool. If those are icy rings, we might just move the carrier there and do some fueling, because we kind of need some fuel here. Let's go ahead and finish up this scan, and then we'll go take a look at the map and see if those were icy rings or if those were just, because they looked like it. They looked like they might have been icy rings. It can be really hard to tell sometimes, but they looked like they were icy rings. There's a lot of icy bodies in the system, so who knows? It could be anything. No biology here except for on the rocky world. Is this an icy body? Or are these icy rings? Oh yeah, it's got an icy outer ring here. So we're gonna, I know we wanted to go check out the biology there, but frankly that's going to be boring if I'm honest with you, and I would rather go see if this has fuel in it. If it has fuel, we'll go ahead and target the hotspot there, get the carrier to jump here, and then we're probably going to spend a day or two getting some mining done just to top off our tanks, because I don't want to go too far before we, you know, anytime we get a chance to stop off for fuel, I want to make sure we're doing that. I don't want to go too far and then we run out of fuel and then we've got to figure out some kind of crazy thing. I'd rather just stop more often than we probably need to and figure it out that way. It's just better safe than sorry when you have fuel requirements like this. Okay, so we just need to get up to this guy here. I mean, and the biological planet was probably over here anyway. All right, we're close enough now that we can hop into the probe thingy here. I want the probe to go to the outer ring. I think that's going to do it. We'll go ahead and do two. We'll go ahead and do a probe on both of the rings just to see what's here. I'm only really interested in tritium in the first place, but you know, you never know. Right, looks like there's one hotspot there. Is it a tritium? Nope, it's a grandidierite hotspot. That kind of sucks. Let's go find that body that had 4 biological sources on it. That's geological, none. We got biological 3, biological 4. How far away is that? It's 4,000 light seconds away. Honestly, we still have 9 jumps to get done, and I would kind of just rather get on our way. I know that some of you are going to be a little bit disappointed with that, but realistically, what's going to be on there is going to be bacteria, some kind of grass, either the tussock or the fungoida or something like that. Maybe some osseous, which for the most part is pretty boring. Maybe some of the whatever that little the concha. Maybe some concha. The concha can be somewhat interesting to look at, but none of that stuff's really worth a lot of money, and I'm not going to go out of my way for stuff that isn't worth a lot of money and not particularly interesting to look at. So that's my philosophy. Let's go ahead and boost into the star here, see what's in the system. 21 bodies means we're taking off and not hanging out here. We do need to get the next carrier jump scheduled. I was kind of holding off to see what the icy ring situation was going to be there, but unfortunately there's just nothing going on there. So we're going to go ahead and hop into our galaxy mode, our galaxy map for the carrier, hop into that, do that, get that scheduled there. And then, yeah, 15-ish minutes from now, the carrier should be at our destination. Okay. We'll definitely be there by then. And then, yeah, we'll call it a day. I am going to be really struggling with making sure I don't run into the star with this ship, because it has a really bad yank on it when you turn the the Super Cruise overdrive on. It has a real bad yank, and it has a tendency to want to yank me into the star, which is kind of scary. That's a little bit scary. Okay, so there's only one body in this system. We're not going to be stopping here. I tried to do a little like kind of cough thing. Hopefully it didn't get picked up, and it just triggered the microphone. Maybe that'll be a cool way for me to fool the system into actually starting to record before I'm ready to start talking. Now that's going to get annoying because I'm going to form that as a habit, and then when I start trying to talk in other situations, I hope wouldn't that be ridiculous? I'm in my personal life and I start talking to people and I go, okay, so that would be pretty ridiculous. I gotta, but I don't know. It'll be a cool way to trigger the microphone to get it to where it'll start recording without cutting off my first word, so we'll try it. Okay, there's only 2 bodies in this system, so we're gonna go ahead and move on. We have a good 5 jumps left to go. I have no idea how long I've actually been recording, though, because this method of pausing the video automatically also pauses my recording time and makes it very difficult to know how long I've been going. I think I'm a little bit over 30 minutes at this point, but yeah, that means we've cut out 10 minutes worth of stuff that's just not happening, it looks like. I think. I don't know. Okay, so there's only going to be 10 bodies in this system, so we will go ahead and stop and scan this guy. So let's get out of the fuel scooping, hop into the full spectrum system scanner, and I will let you guys know if anything pops up that's worth looking at. Okay, so there wasn't really anything here. I left a couple of bodies unscanned because they were just icy worlds and a gas giant. There wasn't really much point. Oh, there is actually a little bit of a point with that. I'm sitting here writing off gas giants thinking, oh, I don't need to worry about that, but I do need to check and see if they have any rings. Hold on. That would have been, I mean, it wouldn't have been terrible, but, you know, bypassing a gas station for the carrier is not necessarily a good idea, so. Okay, so we have 12 bodies in this system. Let's go ahead and get below the plane and do some scanning. Hopefully you guys didn't hear my little lip smacking thing I did to activate the microphone. I'm trying different sounds to see what's going to actually trigger it and what doesn't really work that well. I want something that's a nice, sharp, short sound, so by the time the microphone actually grabs it, the sound's already over and it just triggers the microphone to start or to unpause the video again. So I have no idea how that's working. You guys might just be hearing a bunch of random noises at the beginning of every little clip like this, but that's what testing is for, and we'll have to find out. Unfortunately, you guys are my guinea pigs. So hopefully it's a pleasant experience for you already. You're not hearing any of the sounds, you're not hearing any of the weird stuff that's happening other than, you know, the stuff I know was happening towards the beginning of the episode. But as I refine the process, it should get better and better, and I'll figure out ways to make the process work. So that, you know, you as the viewer don't care about how hard it is for me to get videos out, and the fact that I don't like video editing and the fact that I don't like video editing and all that stuff, that's not your problem. But at the same time, I'm much more motivated to try to get things done if I can lessen the workload and get more content done and less work to get the content done. You know what I mean? Like if I can get the same quality of content by doing a bunch and there's a way to do it by doing a lot less work, especially manual effort work, I'm all about it. All right, there's 10 bodies in this system, so we'll go ahead and get it scanned. Unfortunately, it feels like the fuel scoop on this thing, even though it's the same size fuel scoop as every other medium-sized ship that I have, it feels like it's taken forever to fill the tank up. It's really annoying. All right, Rocky Ice Worlds. Honestly, how many jumps do we have left? 2 jumps. We're just going to go ahead and get out of here. I know we're past the 30-minute mark for my recording, and I just kind of need to be done with this so I can move on to my next game. I don't have all day for this. And as I said, we're going to go ahead and just skip past this part and start heading off to the last jump, so that way we can just catch up with the carrier. So, because that's the case, and we're not really going to be able to do anything until the carrier gets there, which will be after I let you guys go, I'm just going to go ahead and do my exit. So hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Join as a member for early access to videos, among other perks, where you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. I also have PayPal and Patreon links in the description if you prefer to go that route, because some people do like to go outside of YouTube to help out with the channel. So again, thank you very much for your time. Be sure to come back for tomorrow's episode, where hopefully it will be a little bit more streamlined, and I'll see you then.